All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Hope everybody is doing well. July 8th, 2025. First week of July. It's over, man. I hope it was a great week for a lot of people. I really do. Hey, we're glad to have you here this morning. Looking forward to getting started. We are going to continue our path down the line of the mid-year business plan with Carl White, everybody. Carl White's going to help us out. That guy, you shake that noodle around, that head noggin, and, sometimes good things fall out. We'll see what happens this morning. You just never know. You never know. Steve Kyles is with us, too, today. What the heck? Why not? Why not? Of course. Why not? We got Chris Johnstone and Gen Z and Kristen and Kevin Gillespie and everybody else in the house. So we're in store for a great little episode today. 30 minutes of free mortgage coaching every Monday through Friday, brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals, because why not?
We like you.
Yeah.
Because we like you, Doc. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
People like me. That was in the old days when Saturday Night Live was pretty funny. I mean, I can't say that.
Wait. So do you know where that originated from?
No.
That was actually Sally Fields.
Oh, that's right.
She was accepting an award, and she said, "You really like me. You really, really do." And frankly, I thought that was kind of a cool. Everybody made fun of her, but I thought it was I thought it was kind of cool.
So they spoofed it. Is that what it was? It was a spoof on an acceptance that she did, or something.
Well, like the news hit it like look at this bozo lady, and she looked so silly, and I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool where she went, hey. This my industry likes me, and I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. So
yeah, it is cool. She was cool too.
Yeah. Was
Smokey
she still?
the
What do you mean
Bandit?
is she a was? She's not a was.
I don't know. Is she a was? Or
no, she's an is. No, she's an is. Yeah, she's
okay, so she's cool.
There's like two camps right here. The people who know who you're talking about. So I have no idea.
Hey, she was my second girlfriend.
Hey, Carl, was it Smokey and the Bandit that caused that to happen?
No, it was to be my second girlfriend, you mean?
Yeah.
No. It was okay. This is going to go way back. It was the Flying Nun.
Yeah. Oh, the Flying Nun. Sure.
She was a
really
nun.
From the Flying Nun.
For you people that are wet behind the ears, she played a nun, and her hat had these little wings on it, and she'd put it in the air just right, and she'd fly.
Yeah, the Flying Nun goes.
She was
way
the original like Wonder Woman kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, Flying Nun. No, wow. Okay, that brought us back. No, for me it was Smokey and the Bandit. Remember, of course, she was great in that. And what a great movie that was.
So Marie and I went and watched that again about a month ago. We got about 15 minutes.
You got to be kidding me.
We had to tap out. It was just awful.
Corny.
You remember these movies being great. And you go back and watch them and going, oh, that was horrible. It's
not so much.
Yeah, the sophistication of movies is so far evolved. It really has.
Well, I could say the same thing about Jaws. Brenda and I just watched it over the weekend. Because it's the 50-year anniversary.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, and you're watching it, you're going, wow, it's, pretty corny.
Hey, well, we watched one about 2 months ago that was way better than I remembered.
What?
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, for sure.
We watched it again. I haven't seen that in probably 25 years, maybe 30, and we watched it again. It was unbelievable, the cinematography and colors and, I guess they remastered it. It was crystal clear. It was a great movie.
It really is a great movie. It is. Everything about it is pretty incredible. That is a good one. Oh man, I tell you, I still get creeped out by the flying monkeys and all. If I watch that right now, it's like,
So, dude, have you ever watched that interview of the Wicked Witch of the West with Mr. Rogers?
No.
What? You got to YouTube it. It's fascinating. Just a sweet. Her name was Margaret. Margaret was the sweetest lady ever, and so they had her on Mr. Rogers so that kids wouldn't be afraid of like TV witches and whatnot. And she's just this gentle, funny, kind. It was really, really cool. Yeah. Just when you finish this, that's just another way to write more loans. Go Google Mr. Rogers and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Trust us on this, straight from Carl White. This is the way to increase your business.
That will definitely increase your business. That is a high use of time. That will be an asset, not a liability.
All righty. Well, hey, let's chat with somebody real quick before we dive in, just so people can we're getting just about full here. Kristen, you do it. Who you gonna pick on this morning, just to say hi to and see if they got something fun for us?
Mandy Norman.
Okay, who was it?
Mandy Norman.
Mandy Norman. Hey, Mandy. Hi, good morning. How are you?
You were going to pick on me today.
What's going on?
You just look so bright and shiny.
Take it away, Kristen. Ask some questions. What do you got for Mandy?
All right, Mandy, where are you located and how long you been in the industry?
I am in Wisconsin, and I've been doing this for 23 years.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
Have you been? I'll use Frank's pickup line. Do you come here often?
I do. I like to start my morning out here.
Oh, How long you been showing up?
I think I've been a member since March of. Yeah, I think. Well, you know what? I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe no. It was October or November last year. So
there you go.
So.
Can you give us a win, Mandy?
What was that?
Can you give us a win?
A win. Well, I had a closing recently on a lady that I had been working with for 5 years.
Wow.
5 years.
Wow.
She
No
was looking
kidding.
for an investment property and just couldn't find the right one. So she
For
finally
5 years.
5 years.
You felt like you closed a friend, like your friend.
Yes. We literally, like, she was hugging. She still calls me, but she misses me.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. Did she shop you?
No.
Good.
But I did have a client who did that. I was working with him for 2 years, and he called me. He's like, I'm gonna look around, and I was like,
Oh my God.
2 years. 2 years. I won that deal anyway. So
Yeah, good for you. Well, thanks so much, Mandy. You got a Loan Officer Breakfast Club t-shirt?
I do not.
Yeah, you do. Congratulations. You've got one now, sister. Wear it with pride, my friend. Enjoy. They'll stop shopping you. This happens. It doesn't happen anymore. Yeah,
And we'll
you gotta
see
be
you
wearing it,
guys
though.
in a couple weeks because I will be coming to Michigan.
Nice.
Whoa!
Oh, cool.
Coming to Michigan as well. Nice.
Well, rumor has it there is a market for secondhand LOBC shirts in Michigan.
Oh man! All right. Well,
And the longer you had it, the more it's worth. Is that what it is?
Well,
Like the letters are falling off. That's the way mine.
it's even better. It's like faded jeans,
Yeah.
It's the OG.
That's
I just
right.
got a fresh one. They're really nice. I was surprised how nice the shirts are.
Just don't
He
wear it
was
while you're working out. Don't wear it while you're working out.
Right, and don't wear it in Houston, Texas, right, Steve?
I hear the real high quality too, like nice and thick. And
They are. They're really good. They'll last forever.
Yeah, they don't look like the cheap, like you can see through T-shirts, so.
Mhm.
Hey,
You'll just
Carl,
have
I'll
to
be in
trust us
St.
on
Pete
that.
tomorrow. I'll drop this off to your house.
Deal.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right. Well, speaking of Carl, let's talk about the business plan, right? The mid-year business plan, making sure we finish off the year strong. Last Tuesday, you brought up a great list. Everybody loved it. We went over a couple of things, CRM and our assistance processors, that kind of. There's more on the list we want to cover today, but you wanted to start off by chatting a little bit about CRM. What do you got for us today?
Well,
before we roll in?
And just a quick refresher. What we talked about was, like, anytime myself and Steve and Chris and Kevin and Kristen and Jen and Frank and the rest of the gang, Jennifer and the rest of the gang here, we're planning out, all right, what's our next strategic move? The first thing you always want to do is, like, what are my assets? Like, what's in my bag of tricks? If you're going to war, the first thing you're going to do is, all right, how many tanks do we have? Do we have planes? Do we have ships? Like, what's in our war chest, so to speak? I don't like calling it that, but what's in our bag of tricks is what I like to call it. And so we talked about that most of us, hell, I'm just being nice. All of us have untapped assets.
Mhm.
And when we point these things out, we're not doing it to be uncool, or we don't want anybody leaving here going, "Oh man, I suck. I don't have any of that, stuff," and that's not the purpose. The purpose is you got to identify where the holes in your bucket so that you can fix those holes, because you don't want to put more gold in your bucket if there's a big hole where it's just falling right back out. Because otherwise, it's like I was thinking about this morning. I saw this post that somebody did, and they were talking about this thing they were doing on social media. And I looked at the guy's production. Guy had no business being on social media, right? He wasn't closing any loans, and he's doing all this clutter work. It's not his fault, right? Somebody's told him to do that, I suppose. But to me, that would be like, I don't know, it'd be like Steve would be like, "Hey, dude, look at the new wheels I got. Man, these are some awesome wheels." And Steve going, "Carl, you don't have a car." "Well, yeah, but I got on awesome wheels, man. That when I do get a car, man, these wheels are going to be killer to put on that car." And there's no car. So you got to get the car first. And so that's kind of what we're looking here is the assets and liability. Jen, if you'll share that, if you share that little cheat sheet here, and then what you're going to be looking at is going to be something like this, right? We shared this last time, something like this. And it's just a little cheat sheet. Oh, what's hidden under here? Oh, that's a cool little I hear that's a great podcast. I just rumor has it. So I just
what a poser.
So we'll see what happens is if you're on a laptop, when you X out of Loan Officer Breakfast Club, there's a page that'll pop up, and our evil scheme is we're in charge of the page, and I never know what the team's going to do. So anyway, all right,
Evil scheme.
So for instance, like your CRM, CRM is either an asset or it's a liability. And Chris, you and I talk about this all the time. It's either an asset or it's liability. Let me stop my share here just so I can look. All right, so on an asset, you constantly use it. You stay in touch with your leads, your past clients, and your agents. And if you don't have one, like I always think, like without a CRM, your best leads are falling through the cracks. Is that where you'll find, like most of y'all's? Do y'all get your clients get a lot of business on the CRM, Chris, from like past databases? Is that where a good portion of their business comes from?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's whether you've got a CRM or not, I think that's where the majority of the business comes from, that and realtors. And if you're not constantly communicating with them, we hear all the time, yeah, I keep in touch with my database. I send a quarterly email. It's like the more you communicate, the more referrals that you get. I think something that tricks people, I shouldn't say trick, but I think I'm doing my database marketing and I get referrals from my database because they're getting referrals from their database, and they don't realize if they communicated more often and provided more value to the database, how many more referrals are in that database to be had with value and consistent communication.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've always thought, like, if when I wasn't using my my CRM or my database, when I'm not using it, I'm paying for silence. I'm paying for silence, and so yeah, so that's you're having a CRM and not just having it, but actually using it is definitely an asset, and not using it is an incredible liability. So like if I'm looking at, I want to increase my business, gosh, probably you talk about a hole in your bucket. One of the first things I want to do is get my CRM. Hey, Chris, just you do a shameless plug. If somebody wants more about the CRM that you do,
loanofficercrm.ai. So loanofficercrm.ai. I'll throw it in the chat, and we've got a free giveaway for everybody that opts in on the main page. If you go to the main page, there's a pop-up that'll come up. Just fill that out, and we've got some goodies that we send you in your email to help you with your database marketing.
And if anybody needs any help with that, what he said was the word out, if you want to fill that out, just in case somebody needed a little interpretation there.
Thank you.
What am I going to fill oot? No, I'm not going to fill it. You're going to fill it out. I just want to clarify there.
Accent. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So if we look at if we look at our assets and our liabilities, we also talked about like our processor or our loan partner. Hey, Hey, and the next one we're going to talk about, like number 3 on there, is my schedule, my daily schedule, my time management.
Hmm.
And this is not about beating ourselves up, but we have to have a self-assessment. You know, Steve, if I wake up in the morning and I got a horrible cough, to ignore that might not be a good idea. Like if I've got an issue, or I wake up and my my knee feels like I broke it overnight somehow or another, you got to address it.
Right.
Right. And so you can't just ignore this stuff. So on your time schedule so the asset is my week is blocked for prospecting, follow up, and closing. And the liability is, hey, I got some great wheels for the car I don't have.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, hey, I've got this new tool, I've got this new thing, I've got this new widget, I got this thing that'll write articles for me. Awesome. You don't have anybody to send it to.
Mhm.
And if a bunch of people do send it to you, do you have the right team to be able to help you out with that stuff? And so you got to look at your daily schedule. One thing, Kristen, one thing that I know you and I can do is we can get somebody on a call, and with their permission, we'll look at their calendar. You show me your calendar, Kristen and I can, with great success, can predict your income. You show me your calendar, I'll predict your income. I know Kristen's same thing. I learned it from her with great accuracy. Right. So on your calendar, like just an honest assessment, and we're all friends here, right? Nobody's here to poke fun at anybody or, gee, Bob, I can't believe you said that, you suck. Where do most of your hours go? I'd like to see that in the chat. Like just an honest assessment. It's all good. We're all friends here. Nobody's going to screen capture this and post it on your social media page. Where do most of your hours go in the day? I'd love to see that.
Emails, files, processing, hunting, opportunities, meetings and company schedules. My company schedules for me to attend. Whew.
Yeah.
Fixing problems, responding to leads,
Look
phone
at that.
calls, docs, Busywork, processing.
Okay.
Sarah,
All right. Good stuff. Hey, and I appreciate the honesty. I really do. It really helps us out.
Sorry, somebody put
Day
day
drinking.
drinking. I just had to laugh. Day drinking.
Day
My
drinking.
new best friend who
Nah.
said
Oh,
that.
what are
John
you doing me?
Baker.
I thought today you're a prude.
All right. So great stuff. And Jen, you and I were talking about this the other day. So now if we look at this list, they're going to go in 2 categories. They're either going to go in signal or they're going to go in noise. So we talked about this last Tuesday. Frank and I are ham radio operators. And one thing that you get a knack for is when it's noisy. Like in the summertime, the ham radio is noisier. Right, it's just like the light, like a lightning storm can be 300-400 miles away, and I hear the crashes, the lightning crashes on my ham radio 300-400-500 miles away. In the summertime, it's a lot noisier. And Frank, we've developed an ear just by over the years of doing this thing that we can hear a weak signal and understand what they're saying. Whereas somebody that's not used to that, even somebody super smart, like Chris Johnson, just say you, Chris, super smart. If you haven't developed that particular skill, you go, well, I can't understand what they're saying, and Frank and I can. It's because Frank and I can hear the signal over the noise.
That's right.
So we look in our business and we go, all right, what's noise and what's signal? So let's look at the little chat thing there for a second. And if we look at that, we go, all right, let's find one here. I'm looking here. Emails. Perfect one. That was a big one.
Mhm.
Emails. Is emails signal or noise?
In the chat.
Yeah. Is email signals or noise? Emails or noise?
It's a tricky one because I think we can tell ourselves it's one thing, but it's actually another.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly right. Or like, let's see, I'm finding another one here. Here, this is another popular one, processing. And that falls right into what you just said, Kristen. You got to process the loan or we don't get a paycheck. Like that's real important, right? For somebody. And frankly, so is making sure the electricity is on the building. That's incredibly important.
Oh man, Sharon Wofford put something in the chat that's just, she said, emails are the urgent that take you away from the important.
Yeah.
Dang, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Gong,
Mic
gong.
drop.
Sharon knocks it out of the park all the time.
Wow.
So what I want you to do, here's some homework for today. What I want you to do is I want you to open. So number one, you got to live by your calendar. Like if it's on your calendar, you have to do it. Like no matter what. But the rule is you don't have to put it on your calendar only if you have to do it. So if it's on your calendar, you've got to do it. And so everything has to go on your calendar. But if it's not on your calendar, you can't do it. Like it's not allowed. Now it might be that like maybe Jen calls me up and say, or we do the Slack thing. Jen slacks me, say, "Hey, Carl, I got a great idea," and she'll Slack to me, and then I look and I go, "Well, wait, Jen's not on my calendar. I'm not on her calendar today. We can put something on, of course." Or I say, "Hey, Jen, I'm free right after this. You got time to meet?" Yes, I go put it on my calendar, so it's always on my calendar. Because at the end of the week, I go review my calendar because everything I did is on my calendar. I mean, when I say everything, checking my email, doing a podcast with Steve, doing the Leadership Academy with Kevin, Mr. Gillespie, reviewing things, like everything goes on my calendar. Everything. Even if it's impromptu, I go, hang on, I'll meet you in 5 minutes because I'm putting it on my calendar. At the end of the week, look at your calendar and go, was this signal or was this noise on each individual thing?
Hey, I love that analogy, signal or noise. Because that's so powerful.
And Kristen, you hit it on the nail.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can mistake signal or mistake noise for signal.
Mhm.
Again, like the processing. Well, gosh, somebody needs to do that. Or putting out fires. Well, hell, if I don't put out the fire, I don't close the deal, and then I lose the business. But that's so my noise is like in our business, my noise is Diane's signal. And Diane's signal is my noise. It's not wrong or right. It's just wrong for me, right for her, wrong for me. Right for me, wrong for her. Right. And so you have to, looking at your calendar, it is your calendar is likely one of your biggest assets that you have. You just have to make sure you have to protect it like it's your in charge of your bank account, which it is.
Yep.
Carl, one of the things we tell the members when Meg and I are working with them, they're not sure where their time goes. They're not sure how they can find more time to do something, right? One of the first things we tell them is keep track of everything you do. Write down everything you've done on your calendar. And at the end of the week, let's review that and see where we can move things around or get rid of some stuff or add some stuff.
Yeah. Well, so Steve, you know what the number one thing, this was actually a study.
Yeah.
The number one thing that most, and I'm going to call us office sales, like people that's not, building cars, so to speak, right? Not welders, not plumbers, not electricians, not roofers, not yard guys, but like, let's call it office workers, salespeople. You know what the number one activity they do? Let's see the number one way they spend most of their day. What's the one activity that takes up most of their day and it's not email? You know what it is?
What is it?
It's what should I do next? That was number one. So when they measured people's productivity and what they're doing during the day, the number one thing, who I just spoke to I just spoke to Miss Wolford. Who should I call next? Instead of working off a list, because a list is part of my calendar.
Hey, you know what that goes back to, Carl? I remember I used to say it all the time. It's like I can't live that scheduled. Like it feels restrictive. And what we've learned is actually the more dialed in the calendar is and the more it tells you what to do, the more empowered you are, because guess what you do? You look at your calendar this morning, didn't even look at it. What am I doing at 8:30? My calendar tells me. What am I doing at 9:30? Calendar tells me. Hey, I don't feel like it. Doesn't matter. Calendar told me. And it's like the more we lean into it and you proactively build. Hey, and you said something too about signal and noise. Look, some of you may not have somebody to help you set up your files, So how do I turn noise into signal? You schedule it. Well, when you schedule it from 9:30 to 11:30, it's my proactive outbound calls. But from 11:30 to 2 in between my loan consultations, guess what? You can schedule that time to set up a file while you're working to get more help to do that on your behalf. So you can take noise and turn it into signal by simply putting it strategically on your calendar and having a time block for it so that you can be more effective instead of reactive. I think that that's a big deal because people are like, well, I don't have help. Well, okay, let's time block what you're doing until we can help you get help. So it's a
Yeah.
big deal.
So what I'm hearing you say, Steve, is processing is okay as
If
long
you
as
have
you're
to,
doing it
yeah, you
from
just gotta time block it.
noon to
So,
1, kind of
right,
thing. Yeah.
right,
Instead
right.
of just, well, here, let me do this part. Wait, I need to make this
Yeah,
call.
I'm gonna do
Let me
this
go.
before I make my calls. Oh gosh, I never made my calls. I spent all day in that file. Awesome.
Yeah.
How much money did we make? Not
Yeah.
much.
Hi, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. I just wanted to drop in and remind you that if you're a newer loan officer and you're trying to get to that 2 or 3 deals a month, or if you're seasoned and you're trying to get from 50 to 60 or 60 to 80, Mortgage Marketing Animals has you covered. We've got the full gambit from start to finish, top to bottom. Everything you need is at mortgagemarketinganimals.com. There's a reason that mortgagemarketinganimals.com is the #1 mortgage coaching platform in the country. So check it out, mortgagemarketinganimals.com.
Yeah, I found we found the secret to that is that's why we do our call stars, our prospecting first
Yeah,
thing in the morning.
yeah.
Is like you give us that first 2 hours. You give us till, let's say, 11 o'clock. You give us till 11 o'clock. You can process all you want. You can email all you want. You
After
can
that, that's
insert
right.
in
That's
anything,
right.
insert X, anything that you want. Just give us that first 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that
Mhm.
first 2 hours has to be completely non-interrupted. So,
Right.
all right. So the last thing we're going to do here, just real quick. So, so how do we make sure we don't get interrupted during that 2 hours? So from 9 to
Ooh.
11,
Oh yeah.
how do we ensure we're not looking for your whole day? Just give us the first 2 hours. What can you do? Well, first of all, what are the interruptions that come in? Just in the chat, real quick. What's the interruptions that come in from 9? It's 9 to 11. We're going to be doing nothing but our outbound prospecting. What are the things that potentially could trip us up? Where we're going to, where do we go back? Where do we get tripped up instead of being proactive to be reactive? What are those things? What's our triggers? Emails, calls.
I think Yumi summed it up. Email, text, phone call.
Calls, putting up.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Cool. Emails, text. Okay. Cool. Inbound calls. All right. Cool. All right. So now on the thing that you put in, the #1 thing that can trip you up, which is true for all of us, by the way. There's nothing unique there that doesn't try to trip me and Kevin and Krista, like the whole gang here, and even the rock stars like Sharon Wolford, right? I mean, we all have those things. What can you do? That thing that you put in that can trip you up, what's the activity you can take so that that won't trip you up from 9 to 11? And let me give you a secret. If you don't want to drink, stay out of the bar. If you don't want to drink, stay out of the bar. And so what can you put into place so from 9 to 11, that activity that could trip you up, or that interruption, that noise, and it might be noise after 11 o'clock, but from 9 to 11, it's noise. What specific action can you take to keep that from tripping you up? What's the proactive approach you can take to prevent that from happening? Relocate your cell phone, set expectations with your team, not to bother me. Close my email. I like that. And the reason why I say if you don't want to drink, stay out of the bar, you can't have your email open. I can't. I shouldn't say you. I can't have my email open. And frankly, I can't have my phone, my phone, I can't have it ringing. So my cell phone is forwarded to the office line, which somebody at the office is going to answer from that 9 to 11. Because if it rings and I see it's, I see it's Sarah Beers, I know Sarah. I'm going to answer the call. I'm going, well, hell, it's Sarah. Of course I'm going to take that call. She's a buddy of mine, right? So of course you're going to take. So I can't know that. No offense, Sarah. I can't know. And same with Sarah for me. She can't know that I'm calling. I can't know that her calling, or my sister Sharon. Right? I can't know that because who would not answer the phone if Sharon calls? Right? She's like the queen bee. right? So of course you're going to answer that call, but you can't know that it's happening. And that's the secret. So if you don't want to drink, you got to stay out of the bar. So anyway, I hope this gave you some food for thought. I know there's a lot to each one of these pieces. This is not just like a quick one and done kind of thing. Our original intention, Frank, was to go through this whole list of 10 in 20 minutes, but it takes time.
Yeah.
We don't want to just, twist a knife and show you the pain. We want to offer solutions for you. And yeah, you gotta be able to differentiate signal from noise. And then what do you do to filter out the noise?
Carl, my biggest takeaway from this today, from what you said, was my noise is someone else's signal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a big takeaway. So we have all this noise. We got to understand to us that's noise, but that's someone else's signal.
Yes.
So we have to be able to eventually, right, get a team in place, to pass off our noise to be their signal, so that we can just function. That was good. I really
Yeah.
Sue has a really good point here, and I know there's studies been done on this, that when you stop doing something to like see something else, it takes you 20 minutes to get back on track. From that interruption. I know there's been studies done on that, Carl. I know you've talked about that before too. It's a big point.
Yeah, it's like when the train gets derailed, it doesn't come off the tracks. It comes off the tracks, falls over, and rolls down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get it back up on the tracks takes some time and some effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's not just one car that goes off the track. The one car
everything.
takes the others with it.
Yeah.
What I mean, like when I get off track, or when Kristen or Jen gets off track, the rest of the team that's counting on our production, they get affected too. Their car gets pulled off the track too.
Yeah.
So it's not just us. When we implode, there's a crater that takes people with it. And that's that always weighs very heavy. I'll let me down, but Steve, I ain't gonna let you down. Frank, I'm not gonna let you down. Kevin, I'm not gonna let you down. Kristen, maybe, but
Boy, no, but tough crowd today.
Yeah,
I got you back.
Yeah. You gotta, yeah. Yeah, so I want you guys really be thinking about the signal noise. I want you on Friday. Number one, I want you to put everything on your calendar. Everything. Like everything goes on your calendar, including my breaks, by the way. So my 10-minute breaks every hour go on the calendar too. And then on Friday, I want you to look back and go, what was signal? What was noise?
Wow.
And what can I do about it? So
good stuff.
Good stuff today. Great stuff, in fact, man. Thanks, Carl. Always appreciate it. All right. Well, we are at the top of the hour. Man, I guess it's time.
Hey, you know what we got? I was just sitting here thinking, Chris and Jen, you can help with this. We have a thing that's called the perfect day. Yep. Like, what is the perfect day? And it's broken down hour by hour. This is exactly what you do during this time, then this time, then this time, then this time on for top producing loan officers. If you wanna like go over that, we'll give it to you. Just contact Kristen or Jen. What's the way they can do that, Jen or Kristen? How do they do that?
Well, if they're a member, in the Start Here section of the member site, we've got a whole training program that Steve's actually recorded for us that walks you through time blocking your perfect day. So if you're already a member, this is already there for you. If you're not a member, dailysuccessplan.com and schedule a call and we'll walk you through it.
That sounds easy.
Signal noise.
Yeah. Good stuff, Carl. Thanks,
questions, man. Call the office or send it in, and I'll be happy to walk you through it.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, today's Tuesday, right, Kristen? Am I right? It's not
You're
flex capacitor day. Today's Tuesday. And again, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we had determined, or it was late last week, we determined that this is like the top day for most of us to pick up new business. So who can we pick on to share? You know who? Rudy. Mr. Rudy Devers. Mm-hmm. He knows the answer. What do we do today, Bill? What do we do today, buddy?
Today is our Just Ask. We call both realtors on the transaction, both borrowers. I'll call the insurance company, we call the title company, and we ask them, do they have any family, friends, coworkers that are looking to purchase, refinance, or sell?
Well, that sounds pretty easy. Are you saying that it works? Are you saying there's a chance?
I'm saying that it works only works every time.
It only works every time. All right, good, man.
And by the
Great
way,
stuff.
when we were talking about time blocking, Bill put in the chat, he gave his day 4-hour call stars, 2-hour post coffee, 2 hours on files.
There you go. Sounds like a well thought out day every day. Wonderful.
I'd say so.
Awesome, man.
And Frank, Sarah in the comments here, Sarah Cox, 3 new contracts this weekend as a result of my Tuesday calls.
There you go.
Bill, thanks for running us through it.
We're going to give you that. That's it right there. Yeah, man. Okay, good. So who's in, man? Who's in? Who's going to do Just Ask Tuesday? Come on. Raise a hands, everybody. Who's going to do it? All right, let's go. Let's get back here tomorrow. Flux Capacitor Wednesday. Once again, you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you here. Adios. Bye-bye. Catch you later,
Good
guys.
day, everybody.